We got a doubleheader today in the friendly Confines, Joe. We were supposed to have a doubleheader yesterday, but windy conditions, rainy conditions forced the cancellation. And by the way, probably good for the Cubs because they got whitewashed in game number 1, 7-0. Game number 2 could have been the same, but today it's going to be Patrick versus Boyd in game number 1. And game number 2, it's going to be Woodruff versus Tyone. Good luck at that. By the way, Matthew Boyd has been very good for the Cubs, but the question is sometimes not really the pitching for the Cubs, it's the hitting, which is going absolutely dormant over the past month here. Game number 1 is a total of 7.5. Game number 2 is a total of 7. Without checking the forecast, Joe, can you tell me which way the wind is blowing today?
Yes, I can tell you that the wind is blowing in, Donnie, because once again, we've got a under 7 right now in this spot here with the Cubs and the Brewers. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't trust the Cubs lineup at all, so I'm going under.
I'm telling you, it sounds like Joe's going with He's going with the dog as well right now, Joe. Look at that. Dog, you can dog it up. By the way, if you just dogged it up here, Chicago getting about a plus 120 game number 1. Chicago game number 2, roughly that. Yeah, plus 100 if you can find it out there at the Westgate in Vegas. Come on now. You go dog, Joe. You're making money today. Or you just say, hey, look, it ain't broke. You don't need to fix it. They won 14 games, lost, came back with a smoke show, 7-0 touchdown win yesterday. Are we getting another smoke show from Milwaukee that goes, we're just going to beat down the Cubs in the submission for there's no reason for them to show up in September?
Just wait to find out exactly what you're going to get in the first one, Donnie, because I think if the Brewers lose the first one, and I think that's the best shot for the Cubs, is to have Boyd get it done, then I'm looking to come back the other way in the night game with Woodruff. So my hope is, you know what? Maybe Boyd pitches lights out, get the Brewers on the ropes in game 1, and then come back in big over the top with Woodruff in game 2, because I think this has got split written all over it. But I think the Cubs' best chance is this game coming up this afternoon. They've got to get a win behind their top pitcher in Boyd. They got it. If they don't, then the wheels might fall off tonight with Woodruff on the mound.
By the way, that last game that they lost, the Milwaukee Brewers, like the extra inning game, 3-2 game, every other game, it feels like they score 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 runs. It's almost like you're just taking team totals on a day-to-day basis with Milwaukee, regardless of who the pitchers are, Joe, and you just let it ride. But a doubleheader today in the Windy City, which is windy, but it is blowing in today at Wrigley. Let's get out to Detroit. Scene of the crime, man. 10-0. Absolute smash job by the Detroit Tigers over the Houston Astros yesterday. You got pedigree pitchers on the mound, though, today. Brown versus Skubal. 640 start, 961, 962 on the rotation. A total that opened up at 6.5. It's actually a little bit higher to 7 today, Joe. But a favorite here for Skubal overnight in that minus 150 range. No longer there. Minus 168s, minus 175s, and minus 180s out here in the sports landscape, depending on where you're shopping. But Skubal is the better pitcher. Detroit's the better team. And by the way, back-to-back shutouts for Houston. Can they get a run today off Skubal?
Well, look at that. The price is interesting, too. You would have thought that maybe it was going to be a little bit higher with Skubal on the mound, but you got two guys at the top of the Cy Young race here with Skubal and Hunter Brown. Skubal has had some issues here, but does it make a difference? Because Houston looks like a shell of itself right now. You never like a team that just got shut out and embarrassed the way they do. You don't like to go against them with their ace on the mound the next game. But I'd call me crazy. Where are the runs coming from? If you couldn't score a run last night against Flaherty, how many runs are you getting against Skubal here tonight, Donnie? Feels like an under to me.
Yeah, that's funny you bring that up, too, because sometimes you see teams that, like, break out. It's like, well, we're really struggling against, decent pitchers. But now you might get the best pitcher in major leagues when you haven't scored. And also understand this from a team perspective, Joe. It creeps into your head. You haven't scored in 2 ball games. Now they go, okay, that's 19 straight innings. That's 21 straight innings. Oh, look, we got second and third, 1 out. Strikeout, 24 straight innings, and away you go. Because Tarek Skubal over the past 45 days, he's got a 65 xFIP minus number, which is incredible. And his ERA is a 3.12, which is not really bad, but Tarek Skubal, it's like, oh my goodness, what's going on? I'm breaking down at this point right now. But Hunter Brown has got back into form. He's got an ERA of 4, but still his xFIP minus, Joe, is an 89. I'm with you. It's 78-degree temperature, so it's nice weather in Detroit. It is a pitcher's ballpark, but understand this. These two pitchers on the mound, like, what's the worst-case scenario for Skubal? Like, if we're just talking about, oh, that's baseball, where it's like, hey, today, 9-1 victory for the Astros, where they don't score 2 games in a row and then light up Skubal in his own ballpark. I don't see that. Like, what's actually honest in this game? 3-2, 3-1. Really feels like that today.
2-1. I mean, it could literally be the first one to 2 runs wins here. You got to worry a little bit about the bullpens, but Houston, well, their bullpen didn't get a whole lot of work last night. No need to here. So both bullpens will be rested. I think both starting pitchers have advantages here over the lineup. So I don't think Detroit's hitting what they hit 4 home runs last night. I don't think they're getting that today against Hunter Brown. Under for me across the board here, I think.
Yeah, by the way, started a little bit late with that offense yesterday, but once it got started for Detroit, it kept hammering away on that Houston Astros team. If we go to Philadelphia, talking about hammering away, the Phillies were cruising in that game. Bullpen got a little shaky for the Philadelphia Phillies, so the heavyweights came in at the end, but the Phillies bats certainly came out to play yesterday, 20-plus hits. And I told you, first time since the early 1960s, the Philadelphia Phillies, every starter had at least 2 hits in that game. If we set the table today, Miller's going to be on the mound. Hasn't pitched in a while in Major League Baseball, coming back into this game versus the Philadelphia Phillies, versus one of the better pitchers in Major League Baseball, Joe, and that's Mr. Sanchez. If we look at Christopher Sanchez on the mound, how about a 64 xFIP minus since July 1st? How about an ERA, Joe, of 1.89 and an xFIP of 2.60? Looking at Miller's statistics to start the season, not very good. A couple rehab starts in AAA. Not really good, to be honest. He's going to pitch in Philadelphia. The Phillies are a heavy favorite. Minus 190 as we'll call it across the board, and a total that's listed at 8. The bats came to play last night. Will they do the same tonight?
Well, that's the big question. We got to see some consistency offensively from Philadelphia. It's great that they did it last night, but they got to do it here again today. The money is coming in on Sanchez. It's kind of hard to fade him right now, isn't it, Donnie? Especially at home. And I'm telling you, this is a rough stretch for Seattle. We knew it was going to be a rough stretch. This whole trip out east is a little bit taxing here. So what are we going to get from? What's the bullpen going to be like here tonight? I think if Philly continues to swing the bat the way they're doing it, it's all Philly to me, maybe even early in the first 5 as well.
Yeah, take a look. Again, the struggles early in the year for Bryce Miller certainly didn't work out in his favor. He wasn't terrible, but wasn't good. We just don't have that last 30 days to sort of work off of. But sometimes you take a look at a team that's hot at the plate. The Phillies were red hot at the plate on Sunday, smashing baseballs down in Washington. That carried over. And also, Joe, we weren't talking about last night. Well, Donnie, what do you want? Wind blowing out, 95-degree temperatures. It was a chilly night in Philadelphia in the low 60s, and the bats, both sides, got humming here. There's a chance that both of these teams can do it today. It's really up to Christopher Sanchez. If he's on it, this game doesn't go over. But if he's a little bit shaky and gets knocked out after 5 or 6 innings, you saw yesterday when the Jordan Romanos of those bullpens come in for the Philadelphia Phillies, they do have a tendency to struggle at times because, let's be honest, both of these teams, if you're just looking at name recognition, Joe, it's really good on both sides for hitting.
Very good. Both teams are very capable of putting up runs in a hurry. I mean, what? We had 19 runs, 21 hits for Philadelphia last night here. Is anything going to change tonight? Well, if I had to bet on a team not, decreasing their production, it would be Seattle against Sanchez. But that bullpen, I mean, is Duran available here tonight in a close game? Yeah, I think he is. So I still think the Philadelphia Phillies are a team to back right now, especially at home. They feel like they're starting to come into their own again.
73-degree temperatures in Philadelphia tonight. Looks like a 7-mile-an-hour wind blowing out to left field. And for a cooler night last night, guys, like JT Realmuto almost hit one in the upper deck in left field, which never happens at the Phillies Stadium here at Citizens Bank Park. And Bryce Harper just hit 2 absolute launch pads. And also, was it Mitch Garver that sent one into the second deck as well? I mean, ball was flying last night. And we could say that's baseball 1-0 tonight with Christopher Sanchez absolutely dealing. The expectations are possibly for runs, but good pitcher on the mound on one side, questionable on the other. We'll see where that one lands. More Major League Baseball talk coming your way next, which includes a game down where the Yankees are on the road. But really, are they on the road? And do they get their spring training locker rooms? They're used to that ballpark. We're going to handicap that next. So make sure you keep it right here on the early line. On the road again. The New York Yankees on the road, but really at home. Can some of those players stay at the condos they probably rent or just have purchased there in Tampa, in that area? We'll find out tonight because the Tampa Bay Rays are playing the New York Yankees, but it is George Steinbrenner Field, which is hilarious, with the same exact dimensions of Yankee Stadium in New York. If there was ever a road game where you feel at home, it's going to be the New York Yankees tonight. Carlos Rodon, the lefty, is going to be on the mound, Joe, going up against Shane Baz, 965, 966 on the rotation, 735 tonight. Heat and humidity into the ballpark, but Are runs really expected tonight, Joe? 8.5 at the opening number here, down to 8s across the board. A Yankee favorite at minus 142. You're seeing as low as minus 126s and minus 120s across the board. What's the deal with that crash on the Yanks? And who's buying the Rays?
Yeah, well, not me. I mean, you can't buy the Rays
Jeez.
right now. They are one of these teams coming off of a very long West Coast road trip, Donnie, in which they have not been playing their best baseball in any way, shape, or form here. It feels like they're kind of mailing it in down the stretch. And now you got Carlos Rodon on the mound, very familiar from St. Louis, a day off, now to Tampa. Which is really the sixth borough here for the New York Yankees. Who are we kidding?
Yeah.
Shane Baz, who likes to walk a lot of guys, and the Yankees like to take a lot of pitches. I like Rodon's chances here. I like the Yankees' bats. I like their chances here. I feel it's a really good price with the number one on the mound for the Yankees, who are starting to feel it again. They lose a lot in a row, Donnie. They win a lot in a row. That's who the Yankees are. I have a feeling they're going to handle business easily here tonight in Tampa.
Yeah, wind blowing in at 5 miles per hour, that's nothing. Don't worry about that. 85-degree temperatures, that's what you like. Maybe a chance of a passing shower, which is typical there in Florida, certainly at that time of day. If we look at Shane Baz, he's an interesting one, Joe, over the past 45 days. Because if you're old school and look at ERA, he should get smoked tonight. If you're newer school and you say, I don't really pay attention to that, like XFIP minus and XFIP numbers, he's a lot lower. Like, it's interesting to me that I have Baz analytically 6th on my card out of 28 pitchers. Hey, man, that seems pretty good. His ERA, Joe, over the past 45 days, it's over a 6. It's over a 6, which is interesting to play out. Why? He does have a pretty good strikeout rate. You know, sometimes he does walk a little bit too many, but the strikeout rate is what you pay attention to. But over the past 30 days, Joe, 92 batters he's faced, a 222 ISO. That's elevated. A weighted on base percentage to those 92, Joe, 414. Like, if he's in trouble, that ballpark's not going to save you like a lot of places do. You can't hide down there in Tampa. That ball's in the air. It's going to go out. Dead center field, left field, right center field, it doesn't matter. Interesting game, but the Yankees, of course, always project well in offense. We'll see if they can hit the Baz man tonight as it sets up. Let's get out to Los Angeles. How about the Reds and the Angels? Hunter Green back on the mound here, and the Reds looking to make a push possibly towards the playoffs. Hendricks on the mound, one of the guys that I can't stand trying to handicap. Sloppy pitcher out there. Sometimes he avoids contact. Sometimes he gets hit hard. Just a tough guy to gauge. 8.5 total, but a favorite towards Green and the Reds tonight out in Anaheim.
As well as they should. Let's be realistic here. I mean, Hunter Green on the mound, his first start back was pretty impressive. Looks like he has the velocity there. He's got command back. Can't trust Hendricks at all. Can't really trust the Reds offense here, but I think with Hunter Brown on the mound, I don't think the Reds offense is going to have to do a whole heck of a lot here. So I would be willing to go with the advantage that the Reds have with Hunter Green versus Hendricks. I'd be willing to go to first 5 Reds. I hate the Reds bullpen, Donnie. You and I both noticed they've cost us enough money this season. Yep. But I'd be willing to back Hunter Green versus Hendricks. I would even lay the half a run with the Reds in the first 5.
Yeah, look at Hendricks there. 116 XFIP minus since July 1st. Not very good. An ERA, Joe, 5.45. Not very good. A 4.85 XFIP number. Not very good here. He is a right-handed pitcher. Really gets hammered by right-handed batters. If we're looking at, again, forget about lefty and righty splits here. Just some batters on the Reds that have done very well against righties over the past month. TJ Friedel, Gavin Lux, Ellie De La Cruz has been okay. Noelvi Marte has been very good, as well as Tyler Stevenson here. But I do agree with you there. 81-degree temperatures tonight in L.A. Nice weather conditions should be hitting. We'll see if the Cincinnati Reds can respond here. Another game will stick out there on the West Coast. It's the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Cleveland Guardians. And the Guardians with one last gasp effort to try to track down Detroit. They better keep winning ball games. Tanner Bybee back on the mound tonight here for the Cleveland Guardians going against Eduardo Rodriguez, who has struggled at times. Slight favorite towards the Diamondbacks at home and an 8.5 to 9 total where you're shopping at. Bybee and Rodriguez tonight. I actually think Cleveland might do okay tonight, Joe.
Yeah, they might. It feels like runs could very well be coming here, right? Bybee on the road has not been great. He hasn't really been great at home either, but we know Rodriguez is an absolute hot mess here. It feels like maybe this could be the over we've been looking for. Arizona loves to play overs in that building here. I think we get another one tonight.
Yeah, you look at Eduardo Rodriguez, Joe, last 45 days, a 124 xFIP minus, which is elevated, an ERA of close to 6, elevated, an xFIP number of 5.10, which is ridiculously bad. Now, we'll see what we get out of Tanner Bybee. 123 batters he's faced over the past month, 177 ISO against, 345 weighted on base percentage. So it is elevated, and he does get hit pretty hard by right-handed batters. If we look at the lineup tonight, the expectations, Perdomo, Marte, Carroll, Gurriel, all really good ISOs and weighted on base percentages and low K rates there. If we focus on the other side, Cleveland's like that chameleon on offense. You throw a left-handed pitcher out, they got a million switch hitters. They probably only have 1 to 2 left-handed batters in the lineup tonight, which means you're going to get what? 7 or 8 possibilities of having right-handed batters. Some of those guys that have been excelling against left-handed pitching over the past month, Angel Martinez, David Fry, Gabriel Arias, and CJ Kayfus, who I believe hit a home run last night for the Cleveland Guardians. So an interesting one. 103-degree temperatures, man. Ooh, I wouldn't pay money to get that roof open tonight, let that heat and humidity. But you're right about this. I don't love that lineup for the Guardians, but I can't stand Eduardo Rodriguez. I think the Guardians could hit tonight. Maybe 4 to 5 runs certainly could be in store.
Yeah, and they love to hit in that. We get runs in that ballpark here at Chase Field. I think we're going to get a few here tonight as well. Both bullpens not exactly been their best here, especially as of late. So, yeah, I'll take an over. I think it's a cheap price.
Yeah, a lot of games on the card tonight on a Tuesday as we start prepping and preparing for the final week of preseason NFL football. More importantly, week 0 in college football that starts at 12 noon on Saturday over in Dublin for a divisional battle, or should I say a conference battle here. Should be interesting times as we go. One more segment to go on your Tuesday edition of the Early Line. Some best bets next. Best bets coming up in just a few moments here as we wind down the clock on the Early Line here on a Tuesday. But also, there are some other hot topics, Joe, that we didn't get a chance to get into and sort of say, I wonder where this is going. Like Terry McLaurin, we understand, is really upset with the Washington Commanders organization. He wants his money. It doesn't look like there's an impasse at all. Like Diana Rossini had a tweet that goes, like, nobody's caving in this situation. Like, this is a true stalemate where we might miss football games. But also, last night on the other sideline, Trey Hendrickson, same thing, says he's not budging in his standoff with the Bengals. You got 2 maybe perennial Pro Bowlers that want their money and are key ingredients to their team's successes, Joe. So let's have some fun with this for a minute or two. What do you think happens? Hendrickson caves and plays football first for the Bengals or gets a contract, or Terry McLaurin of the Washington Commanders, same thing?
Well, it's funny. They asked Burrow last night after the game about Hendrickson and what he thought was going to happen. And he said that, quote, I think historically these deals with us have gotten done closer to week 1. He said he signed the Thursday before the first game. He said Jamar picked up, he says he thinks just before the first game as well. So Burrow's thinking that this is how they do business here, and don't be shocked if the deal gets done 24 hours before kickoff. So, and Burrow obviously wants him on the field, and the defense, the way they're getting gashed this preseason, needs him on the field. So I think Hendrickson's deal is going to get done one way or the other. It'll probably happen just before game 1.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. But 2 players that need to be on the field if their team wants to have success, no doubt about it. You want to have success tonight? We got best bets. Bye, bye, bye. And Joe, your best bet tonight, because we're going to say bye, bye, bye more ways than one today, I figure. So go ahead.
Yes, we are. But where is my PC Richards whistle there? Because I can tell you right now. There it is.
Ooh.
Give me the New York Yankees here tonight to get done against a very short series against the Tampa Bay Rays. Also a cheap price. I had this priced closer to about $1.50. So minus 135, minus 140 is a go for me with Carlos Rodon on the mound going up against Shane Baz, who's been, like Donnie had mentioned earlier, a complete train wreck. But so is this offense. They are 27th in Major League Baseball right now with a 77 WRC plus, and they're 29th, striking out 27.5% of the time. This is not a very good hitting Rays team. They are not in their right split here against the lefty Rodon. I like the Yankees bats getting it done. By the way, Judge hitting 229 in August. Stanton is now a pinch hitter in most games because he can't keep playing right field. So guys like Ben Rice, guys like Trent Grisham are showing up and showing out here. I think that continues, and I like the Yankees to get it done against Tampa tonight.
There you go. For me, I'm going to switch it out. I'm going to go with the San Diego Padres, not to win the game against the San Francisco Giants, but they hit tonight. And by the way, they got robbed of a home run. They should not have got robbed from a home run yesterday. That game ended up 4-3. That home run meant a big deal in their loss. But the Padres team total over 4.5 for me, Joe. Simple here. Kai-Wei Tang, the pitcher here for the Giants, is not very good. He's been lit up so far in his early Major League Baseball career. The San Diego Padres lineup does have very good ISOs and weighted on base percentages against right-handed pitching over the past month. 75 degrees tonight in San Diego. I am taking San Diego tonight to have a team total over 4.5 runs. How you feel about that? So we're going 2-0 tonight, I'm feeling the heat.
I think we are sweeping it here, Donnie. No more pushes like we had last night, or ridiculous ways to actually lose some bets here. So I like the Padres bats to come alive here tonight. I am with you. I'm expecting runs, and more runs from them.